Index, index, index. It's about time, isn't it?
Before we get into the Easter egg, here's a suggested loadout that we recommend to use while doing the steps. First off, we're going to head to Reba's Diner and kill zombies until one of them drops a freezer key. And after picking it up, we're going to open the freezer in the back to acquire the Abomination carcass. And with it, we're going to head over to Ashwood and go over to the workbench that we used to upgrade Tessie with Pack-a-Punch. Next on up, we're going to go head over to Janus Towers Plaza and spawn the Uber Klaus at this location. And try to kill him as fast as you can so he doesn't kill you or your teammates, and then pick up that stabilizer chip that he drops. If you don't have one, here's a location for a stun grenade for the next step, and this is in the server room. And a second one, if needed, is inside the Ruby Rabbit next to Jug. And after acquiring the chip and 2 stun grenades, we're going to head over to the Ashwood Sheriff's office and interact with this computer to reboot Klaus. And once the computer makes that sound and turns yellow, you'll throw 2 stun grenades inside the jail cell. You'll know you did this correctly once you see the stars circle Klaus's head. And with Klaus following us, we're going to head over to Zarya's Cosmodrome and command him to stomp next to this panel. And once it's open, you're going to interact with that panel and stand inside the red circle for a period of time until it is done scanning you. Just make sure you don't move outside of it and kill the zombies that approach you. And now that that's done, we're going to pick up the Aether barrel. And with that on us, we're going to head over to Ashwood, and you can just enter Tessie and it will spawn on the back right there. We're going to place this barrel inside the Ashwood generator. And then you just wait till it extracts all the refined energy, and it just takes a few seconds. And once that's done, we're going to pick it up and head to Blackwater Lake, and you got to do this before the timer runs out. And rinse repeat the same step from before, place it inside the generator here at Blackwater Lake. And then you're just gonna wait and kill all the zombies again, no big deal, it doesn't take that long. And then pick it back up and go to Vandorn Farm before the timer runs out. Place it inside the final generator at Vandorn Farm and wait one last time. Easy peasy, you got this. But this time, instead of heading out somewhere else with Tessie, we're going to go down to the cellar here. And you're just going to come over here and interact with the Vault of Flesh, or some people call it the Cube. Then, from Janus Towers Plaza, take the launch pad to Vandorn Farm. We're trying to see and memorize all 3 symbols on top of the buildings here. No worries if you don't get it the first time, you can always get it the second or the third. And once you got all 3, head down to the cellar and input those symbols you got into the Vault of Flesh. And here's just a little example of that, and you don't have to put them in any particular order, you just got to put all 3 into the Vault of Flesh. And once you got all 3 in there, just interact with this eyeball, and it's going to start a little lockdown once you pick up the Necrofluid Gauntlet. And once you pick up that gauntlet, you got to shoot and reload back all the green orbs that it spawns in. You're going to have zombies on you too, and you can just attack them with the melee or just shoot them to kill them. And now with the Necrofluid Gauntlet completed, we're going to head out and do the serum. First, we're going to head inside the cabin at Blackwater Lake and pick up the jar of spores. And then we're going to go to Vandorn Farm and right out here on the road, place it on this cow carcass. And once 3 rounds have progressed, come back and pick up the Widow's Lantern. The next serum ingredient is the Ravager Eyes. And on a Ravager round, you're going to come over to one of these saw blade traps and just activate it, and the first Ravager that dies by the trap is going to drop one of these eyes, and you can do that at one of these 3 locations. The next ingredient up is the Horde Husk Chunks. What we're going to do is drive around with Tessie until we see one of these purple plants. Once you see that plant, you're going to beam it with Tessie and destroy it, and then you're going to be able to pick up that ingredient. For the next ingredient, we're going to need a combat axe, and if you don't have one, it's at Reba's Diner. And with that axe, we're going to come over to the barn and throw it at this hanging corpse's foot for it to drop. And then we're going to need a Molotov, and there's one right here at Ashwood. And since that foot is on the ground now, just throw that Molotov next to the foot, and you're going to wait till it turns into human bones for you to pick up. If you don't want to wait for a naturally spawning Xursa, here's a side Easter egg to get one. With your gauntlet, shoot the skull at these 3 locations at the Cosmodrome. And then, once that Xursa spawns in, we're going to lower its health and use Tessie's beam to kill it. And once it's dead, pick up the mysterious limb it drops. Before the next step, acquire Wisp Tea. And then we're going to head over to Ashwood and get the Wisps to spawn. And with the Wisp, we're going to bring it over to the mirror in the tailor shop and shoot it with the gauntlet to get the Powder of the Forgotten. And with all the ingredients, we're going to head over to Yuri's lab and interact with the powder to get the cipher to appear. Each ingredient has a symbol that represents them, and here they are for the 5 ingredients. And here's a perfect opportunity for you to pause right here. And to know the order, just look at the first symbol for each ingredient from top to bottom, and there's only 3 total that you'll have to interact with. And here's what it could look like in your game. And once you interacted with the 3, add your blood by interacting with the flask, and then you'll start the lockdown, and every player that's not here will be teleported to this location. You're immediately going to have your health reduced, but luckily your gauntlet can heal you with overhealth. Do your best to survive, throw monkey bombs, throw Casimirs if needed, but I know you can do it. And you're just going to keep killing and surviving until the room fully fills with purple smoke. Next up, we're going to collect the keys. Location 1 for the Bruin Key is right here and next to Ashwood going towards the Cosmodrome. And the negative effect for picking up this key is you're going to be able to only melee. So be sure to be ready to pick that key up and not be surrounded by zombies. And you're going to bring that key back to the Seal of Sorrow right here. And here's location 2 of 3 for the Bruin Key, and it's right here on this pylon at the Crash Rocket site. And the third location for the Bruin Key is right here near the Cosmodrome. Next up, we got the Terrapin Key, and here's location 1 right up on the ship in this shipping container. And once you pick this key up, you're going to have the negative effect of not being able to sprint, so be sure to have Tessie around before you pick it up. And just bring it back to the Seal of Sorrow once you pick it up as well. And here's location 2 for the Terrapin Key, and that's up on the ship again, but in this window instead of the shipping container. And the third location for the Terrapin Key is right underneath the ship, and it's in between those barrels right there. And the third and final key is the Nightbird Key, and the first location for that is at this T-Rex skull's mouth at the Orda graveyard. And the negative effect for this one is you're not going to be able to regen health. And you're going to bring that key right back to the Seal of Sorrow, just like you did for the previous 2. And once you put in that third key, and you can do these all in any order, you'll have a cutscene play off. And here's the second location for the Nightbird Key, and this will be inside another T-Rex skull inside the Orda graveyard. And the third and final location for the Nightbird Key is at this Project Janus tank to the right of it, at the Orda graveyard.
We got some ancient evil ass to kick.
And since you have all the keys in, you'll have this cutscene, and we're going to be picking up the DG2 turret barrel for Tessie. And then you're going to add it over here back at that workbench we did earlier with the Abomination carcass. Next up, if the lightning is not activated at exit 115, this is how to force it. You're going to shoot these 3 lampposts with the DG2 turret. And you want to make sure that the lamps are sparking, and it doesn't have to be in this order. Then you're going to come over to Ashwood and line up your car to shoot the clock tower with the turret. And then you're going to shoot the clock tower with the gauntlet and then reload to get the purple energy. And don't shoot any enemies with the gauntlet or you'll lose the effect, but you can melee. With the purple gauntlet, we're going to shoot the clock at exit 115 and a timer will begin. You're going to call in Klaus, command him to stomp this mechanic, and have him follow you to his proper lightning strike on top of the shop. And now, with Tessie, we're going to ram into this semi to wake up the trucker, and then you're going to bring him to his proper lightning strike above the gas pumps. Also, you can do these all in one lightning strike, and it's definitely faster with multiple people. And then finally, we're going to head into the diner and melee this cash register to awaken the waitress, and then you're going to lead her to the top of the diner for the final lightning strike. And that's the exit 115 Wisps done. Next up, we're going to line up the car and shoot the clock tower again with the DG2 turret and shoot it to get the purple energy. And then you're going to head over to Zarya's Cosmodrome and shoot one of 2 spinning satellites with the purple gauntlet. And then you're going to get another purple gauntlet and shoot the other satellite. Now that both are shot, it's time to head into the control room. Now we're going to be looking for 2 of the symbols that match up with the graph of the 4, which they can be. In my game, I got engine. And here's that graph enlarged, so you can pause right here if needed. So my word is engine, so my code is 4, 13, 6, 8, 13, 4, and you're going to shoot the red buttons on the monitors with that number in the order when they appear on the screen. And once you complete that, the rocket will lift off and the Wisp for the Cosmodrome is done. And you're going to line the car up again to shoot the clock tower with the DG2 turret and grab that purple energy. Head over to the Vandorn farm and see what number the hour hand is pointing to on the clock. With that number, look on the ground for the corresponding Roman numeral and stare at the father's skeleton head and shoot him with the purple gauntlet when the eyes turn red. And now with that done, it's time to pick up the artifacts. Just follow my path and pick up all the items. Right here is the Tasty Face. Next up is Paw's Pig Sticker. The third item is Maw's Chalice. And the final being Junior's Fun Face. And with all 4 collected, we're going to place them on the red circles. And once the final one is placed, interact with it again and defend the items. To make this easier for yourself, activate the trap and also throw monkey bombs if you have them if necessary. And with that, the Vandorn farm Wisp is done. And yet again, line up the car to shoot the clock tower with the DG2 turret, and make sure to use the gauntlet and reload to get the purple energy. We're going to head over to Blackwater Lake and interact with this Wisp at the docks. And then we're going to shoot this projector with the purple gauntlet inside the cabin. And make sure to pay attention to the order it plays. My order is Boathouse, Cabin, Tool Shed, and finally, Back Deck. With that order now known, we're going to shoot the reels with the gauntlet. Here's the Boathouse, followed up by the Cabin, and then here's the Tool Shed, and then finally Back Deck. And here's just a really quick rundown again, back to back. First location being at Cabin, and then the Tool Shed, and then next up we have the Back Deck, and finally the Boathouse. Hope that helped out for you. And once we shot all the reels, we're going to go upstairs in the cabin and interact with the Wisp. Then we're going to call in Klaus and command him to pick up the Helion Horn. I just wanted to show how long it might take for him to come up here. He's a little bit of a slow guy at times, but here's a little bit of a sped up clip of him picking that up here. And here he is where he finally stops at the pier. And it's time to get prepped for the boss fight, and I'd fully recommend bringing monkey bombs, full perks, fully packed gauntlet, and any gobblegums to help out revive those teammates. And when you and your teammates are ready, interact with Klaus and start the final encounter, and then you're going to head over to Tessie. From Blackwater Lake to Project Janus Plaza, follow this path with old Tessie and run over the red-white wisps, and there's a total of 12 of them. And you're going to be warned now, once you run over that final wisp, you're going to enter the boss fight. For the first phase of the boss fight, just keep ramming into the boss with the boost from Tessie over and over. Also, keep dodging the red circles so the rockets don't blow you up. And then you're going to notice he's going to start to spin, and you're going to find purple energy and run it over with Tessie and ram into him to stop the spinning. This will stun him, and you're able to get a lot of damage in from your gauntlet. And each time you're done with a phase, a max ammo and a max armor will spawn. And just keep ramming into him and dodging those rockets. Also, if you need a heal Tessie, there are green barnacles around the arena you can run into, and it heals a little bit of Tessie. If you don't notice, the boss actually has a red exposed weak area. That happens when you hit the boss with Tessie over and over, and you actually do deal more damage to those areas if we were to shoot them, or ram into them with Tessie. Here's a good example of Tessie breaking down, and my teammate throws a monkey bomb to help out so I can actually repair the vehicle. Just keep ramming over and over. Also, this is good to mention, if you have a teammate, don't have both of y'all in the vehicle. That's what can lead to dying really quickly in the boss. Have one person just hoarding the zombies in one area, and you're just in the vehicle hitting the boss over and over. Always remember to throw the monkey when Tessie breaks. It can be a lifesaver. Also, if you don't see purple energy, ram into him when he's spinning to spawn it in. Get that damage onto him when he's stunned. And we love to see it, back-to-back stuns. And now that we're on the final phase, he has a new ability, which is his laser. And the way to avoid it is ramming into him to stop it. Here's a good example of him picking up Tessie and throwing it at me. And a bear is kind of attacking me too as well, so make sure to kill them. They can really mess up that vehicle. Get that purple energy to spawn and light them up. And I feel like that's basically the boss fight in a nutshell. I'm just going to let this video play out, and I just want y'all to watch what it can be like in the final moments. And don't be shy to use those gobble gums. It can be a close call at times, so I don't want y'all to fail this. And congratulations, y'all. That's the Ashes of the Damned Easter egg. Here's the rewards for completing the Easter egg, which is Dempsey's Skin, which is Oorah, and the new calling card for the Ashes of the Damned. Standard quest complete. I can't thank y'all enough for the support that y'all give us. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Anything that we can do, fix, or add to these videos. We're trying to really make some good content for y'all. And I know we're a little late to the crowd, but we put a lot more love into these videos than the other YouTubers. Thank y'all so much for watching the video, and have a great day.
I want to wish you peace and good luck. You'll need it. Auf Wiedersehen. Until next time.